Okay.
So what can you tell us about your character and his relationship with Backstrom?
My character is the bizarro Backstrom. His name is Peter Niedermayer, and he's a philosopher. He's a Buddhist. He's a shaman. And he sort of represents everything that Backstrom hates.
And Backstrom, I would imagine, is not that fond to see someone he hates on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fun foil for him. He's, because obviously Backstrom's character is a misanthropic, sort of irascible detective, and so to have somebody who's sort of, in love with life, sort of at his heels is annoying for him. So it's a fun relationship. It's a cool gig.
Well, Genevieve talked about how the part as written was in no way like her. Thomas was saying that the part as his part as written was in no way like him. Was Niedermayer written for?
Yeah, they're full of shit. They're exactly like their characters. I mean, to a T. Niedermayer, on the other hand, is nothing like him. I think I relate to the guy pretty well. I mean, he's an interesting character. My whole thing is that he is so in love with life that he's studying death, and the way he's done it, like he's climbed, I talked to Hart Hansen about this too, and I was like, it's interesting, he's climbed all 7 out of 8 of the tallest mountains in the world. The guy went around the world on a boat, like a sailboat in his 20s, and he's just this avid student of life. He quotes Kierkegaard and Bertolt Brecht and the Buddha, and he calls him the Buddha, and he is a lover, he has a lust for life, and so in that study of life, he became a detective to understand death. So his whole thing about like looking at dead bodies is there's this sort of, he's a fun character. I mean, it's a fun, it's a cool exploration. So.
Well, Thomas was saying once your characters are introduced, there's a little bit of flirtation, awkward flirtation by Valentine, because he likes riling you up. What's your take on Valentine, and especially Valentine's kind of ties to the crime world and Backstrom's relationship with him?
Yeah, I think it's such a, he calls me, Valentine's character, it's such a funny thing. He calls me a model, what does he call me? A male cowboy? What does he call me? It's a great line. He's like, you're like a male cowboy model or something. I don't know, but it's funny. And there's this, this little repertoire, and he flirts with me, and we're kind of like, all right. But I think that I'm curious about who this guy is in relationship to Backstrom, because they live, they're roommates, and so I'm trying to figure out who they are, and we will discover who they are in context to one another in the course of the series. And it's a great relationship, and I think that. Frankly, I think that Thomas Decker's character is like probably one of the most fully dimensional as far as like who he is and why he is the way that he is, and you get to learn a lot about that character. So he's a fun character watching. Obviously, Thomas is a great guy. He's a good actor. So.
Now, did you watch The Office?
I did watch The Office.
So what is it like seeing Rain in this role that's completely different than Dwight Schrute?
It's like watching. What? No, I'm kidding. Here's the true story. It's really, because I'm a fucking total nerd when it comes to acting. Like, I love acting, and it's what I do, and I love it, and I love actors. And so when I'm on set, and there's 2 types of performers in Hollywood working today. There's people who like aren't actors. They look really great, and they kind of do their thing. And there's people who are like actors, and you're like, oh shit, you're an actor. And I hope that I qualify as the other one. But watching Rain shoot the pilot was literally like watching an act of murder. Like, he was slaying Dwight, and it was so remarkable to watch, because every choice he would say, like Dwight's voice had this higher pitch, and Backstrom has this low gravelly, and it was just like this, and he would make choices, and he would stop in the pilot, because he'd just finished 10 days prior shooting the last episode of The Office, which he'd done for 10 years prior. And so he literally was like, no, that's what Dwight would do, hold on a second. And he would change, and I was like, oh my God, he's killing Dwight. Like, he's killing Dwight. So, I don't know how people in the world will feel about that, because I think Dwight lives on in perpetuity, right?
And syndication.
Yeah, syndication.
Yeah, and syndication.
And Netflix.
And forever, and so if you love Dwight, you can always go back, and then now you can consequently see a totally another person from the same guy. It's cool.